Hi guys, you know when you're eating a really good meal, right? Let's imagine a roast dinner. So you've got your roast beef, you've got your cauliflower, potatoes, Yorkshire puddings. If you're from England listening to this, you'll get what I mean. You've got all these amazing different dishes come together on one plate into this beautiful medley of food. And there's actually a strategy to eating a good roast dinner. One of the strategies is, well, several strategies. I love food. You'll get this about me. But one of the strategies is that you basically start with the stuff that's less interesting and work towards the more interesting stuff. Another strategy is that you basically throw a bit of everything onto one forkful. I call it a try on mouthful. And they just shovel it all in one go and just try everything together. But this idea of kind of working towards the best bit, right? That's something that you might be able to relate to. So you've got the roast beef, which is really the prize of your roast dinner. So you work through all of the veggies and then you get some potato and gravy. And you have little bits of meat along the way, but you're just saving that last mouthful for the end of the meal, that last satisfying beefy steaky mouthful right to the end of the meal, because you want to finish on a high. Everyone wants to finish on a high. We love happy endings. We love things that finish at the top. Think about how you plan your week, right? So we've broken time into these kind of conceptual units called weeks, where a week comprises of 7 days. And we see the Saturday and Sunday as a kind of weekend, right? And then the week starts again on Monday. Does anyone plan anything on Monday ever? If so, it's probably just because you're aware that the rest of your week gets busy, right? So you start to kind of accumulate more and more appointments through the week until it gets to Friday, and actually you leave that one free because that's your special night, right? So that's the one where you want to kind of do something really good. Again, it's like that meal mentality, isn't it? You're kind of saving the best to last. Now you might think, why am I going on about food and weeks and these sorts of things? Well, I think there's something to consider here, something important that we can kind of reflect on spiritually, because God is the Alpha and Omega. He is the beginning and the end. And on the one hand, what that I think means is that God encompasses everything. He's a beginning and the end. So everything is within him and contained in him. He's the first and the last. He's ultimate. There's a sense of God's relationship to time here, right? If we look at the kind of unfolding of the universe chronologically, the universe had a starting point, a big bang in physics, or in the Bible, a Genesis 1, where God spoke and light came out, and it was an impressive cosmological event, and powerful event where God created the universe out of literally nothing. And God was there at the beginning. In the beginning, God was the beginning. God was right there, speaking the universe into being, and God is going to be there at the end. He is eternity. So the idea here of God being the beginning and the end, I think on the one hand it's like God is eternal, he encompasses and spans everything, but I want to approach it from a different angle today, and I want to think about it experientially and relationally. That God is there at the start. You know, at the beginning of something, we like to set good intentions, we like to be in good rhythm. So if anyone's likely to diet within a week, it's likely to be happening on Monday. If anyone gets into good habits and good patterns, at what point of the year is it likely to be? After that Christmas slump. You've had your amazing Christmas, the year's built up to its ultimate happy ending, which is Christmas. And then in January, we hit the road running, going to the gym, dieting, all of these good lifestyle things, right? That's where we set our good intentions. God is the beginning. Let's set our good intentions with and in and around God. Let God be there at the beginning. And there's an idea in tithing that when we tithe, it's a kind of joyful gift of 10%, but the key is that it's a first 10%, the first fruits, and this kind of thing of God taking the first place. And I think there's something symbolic about that, making God the first, putting him in this position of priority in our time, in our lives, in the way that we view things and value things. But then there's this idea of like the kind of year build up towards Christmas, a happy ending, or your meal builds up towards a steak and all of these other things. Why not let our build up be towards God? Why not build up towards him? God is the best. He's a treasure. He is the jewel. The knowledge of God and the relationship with him is an incomparable good. There's nothing as good as knowing God and being in him and in relationship with him. And the reason I'm sharing this today, if I'm totally honest, is I had a conversation with my wife today, and she was so beautifully challenging and so just wise in what she said with me, and I really want to kind of reflect on it. And she's talking about this idea of how we can make our gardens pretty. We can do all the right things. You can make these wonderful walking with the word videos. You can be this amazing ministry person in church. You can give. You can do holy habits like fasting and Sabbathing, and you can do all these different things. You can kind of do things like praying publicly and reading your Bible, leading groups in church. But that's just your front garden. Where it's really happening and where it really matters is in the depths of the house, in your heart. And it's that thing of stopping and spending time with Jesus. And if I'm honest, guys, I've not been doing that enough. And this is something that I'm just so grateful for my wife to encourage me over, that I would spend time in his presence and with him. And as I've been reflecting on this, I've been thinking, what part of my day does it have? What area do I want to put God into? And I want him to have those favoured spots where I'm setting intentions, when I'm starting, when I'm making habits and making decisions, and I'm at that kind of beginning of the year part. I want that to be committed to him. I want that to be done in a frame of reference with him. I want to check with him first. I want to kind of plan my life around him first and foremost. And then those points of just joy and satisfaction, and like, this is the end of the week, I've got there, those times of celebration, I want those to be in him too. I want him to be my celebration. I want him to be my prize. I want him to be my goal at the end of the day, at the end of the week, at the end of the year, that I enjoy him and I enjoy his presence. Just nothing as good as just sitting in God's presence. Now, it might sound strange, you might not get what I'm talking about. What I would encourage you to do, if you've not done this before, is just go somewhere quiet where there's minimal distractions. Close the doors if you need to, or if you need to just drive somewhere to kind of get out of the chaos and the distraction of life, and just start talking to him as a father. Start addressing him, start listening to him, and just spend that time with him. Now, as I say, this is something that I'm not in a good habit of doing. So I'm not sharing this from a point of view saying, I've got this sussed and you need to kind of come along and follow suit. No, this is something that I'm just feeling challenged to do myself, so I thought I'd share it as a walking with the word today. Spending time with Jesus, letting him be the first, letting him be the point of setting new intentions, new goals, new starts, new beginnings, but also letting him be that place of satisfaction and celebration and joy at the end of the day. So God bless you guys, loads of love, take care, and I will look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Bye for now.